These souls became the non-humans, the mindless, completely mindless. So these portals kept crashing, and these shadow beings would come in and take over the human being, especially kids 1 to 10, because the kid is more receptive to have its soul swapped due to the immune system, weaker immune system. They say the kid has a stronger immune system. Actually, it's the other way around. Okay, biggest enemy currently is is the non-humans, and transhumanism, which are the sleepers, deep, deep sleepers. Transhumanism is basically sleepers. So these are images of non-humans. They have no empathy for other living beings. They laugh, they enjoy torturing. They work at slaughterhouses, the police force. During the lockdown, they have no problem beating your ass up if you're protesting and protecting your family. The police force, the NHS, these nurses, if you confront them, they will bite your head off. They say that wear the mask because you care about the other people. They want you dead. The nurse wants, deep down inside, she's actually a barely functioning non-human. Their behavior is very strange. They hold very brief, short conversations. They're not intellectual. You can't put them in public domains. They stick together in the ghetto and the hood. You find them in cosmopolitan cities, in the hood, council estates, blah, blah, blah. And they just like to stick together, Saudi Arabia, China, etc. And they enjoy torturing, and they're not even registering when they're torturing. When you ask them in counseling, they don't register. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't understand it. They're mindless because there's no consciousness. So these are women taking selfies. They work at a slaughterhouse. She's wearing a skeleton outfit next to beheaded pigs, and these are, they keep posting them. This is another video where there's a lot of videos like this. These are non-humans. They smile. They're taking selfies. They're trying to look sexy. Non-humans do stuff like this at China, Saudi Arabia, etc. This is a girl, I think African, or I don't know where. She barbecued her dog. She posted it on her Instagram, and she was biting. She was biting the limbs off the dog. And I've seen a lot of videos like this where they just throw the animal in the oven, and it has skin, hair, everything, and they're eating it. I try to put the video on, but it's too disturbing. And she's just biting it off. That's a puppy dog. And she's laughing while she's eating it. So what we're doing is shameful. We need to cut the magic, because it's all magic-based, remember number 5. So when you withdraw and don't buy their product, because there's alternatives. I've been on this path not consuming them, and my health went up because I used to have an illness when I was eating flesh and dairy that I couldn't walk. So I couldn't walk for a few months, and I was paralyzed in the bed, and I had to do a kidney liver detox because I was experiencing calcium poisoning. So I had to cut out the dairy that was causing antibodies, and the gluten and grain and other kind of synthetic things, and did a flush, and now I'm back to normal. I'm fully plant-based. I'm gonna be 39 now in a week or so, and my health is incomparable. When I was 25, completely brain dead, completely brain dead. Lots to cover. So let's start now with some examples to show you who are the human servants. The human servants are not the same as non-humans. They're conscious, they're not mindless. You can't put a mindless non-human on a political pole because it will just start looking for a kitty cat and start biting it or something like that. They're completely mindless. Okay, I'll show you the videos. It's a big problem, but the non-humans, the human servants, slaves to the walk-ins, are then 33 degrees to 36 degrees. And this is President Zelensky of Ukraine doing a bit of sniff cocaine on the table. And this is exactly, have you been in a relationship with a narcissist? Have you been raised by a narcissistic parent? Have you been in a relationship with a narcissist who they don't have any regards for you? And these are real humans. There's so many layers to this problem. So these are just people who are trauma-based. They don't care about your feelings, but they do love you. A narcissist actually loves you. They just don't have self-love. That's why they cannot love you. They don't have self-love. So that is still fixable with counseling, hypnosis, repetitive hypnosis, diet, and spiritual path. But this is a human servant who's probably not more than 33 degrees. He's only 33 degrees. He has no full disclosure. He's a short little guy. Funny enough, he reminds me of someone, and that guy was the same, psycho. And he's a short little guy, he has no clue. And so if you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, times that 1,000 times. They rule the world, they have unlimited funding, they don't care what you and me think. He's gonna throw that Tony Montana cocaine on the table and speak to Elon Musk. He doesn't care. They don't care what you think, because you can put the truth on TV, and the Coca-Cola crisp, McDonald's, Ryanair eating sleeper is just like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, okay.
You're very welcome. I invite you. Yes.
That sounds good.
Human servant, okay, 33 degrees. Ooh-ha. Yeah, baby. There's so many videos where he's absolutely skunk drunk. This is another human servant. Oh.
Again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to...
So how are we going to get the screen back? Matt Hancock didn't like it. The guy who cried. This is what we're up against. Thank you, Miles. You're very kind. I'll just show quickly these brief videos, just to tell you that these are different from non-humans. Oh, okay, perfecto. Okay, thank you so much. So let's quickly. The mouse is not reacting. How do you go back? Perfect, got it. Okay, very quickly, very quickly. One second, let's just be patient, okay? So, Matt Hancock, the lockdown started during spring solstice. It led up to number 5, the final sepsis war. 37 million died World War I, 67 million died World War II, and 1 billion people got jabbed with the final sepsis war, which was the lockdown. Forget about HIV, Freddie Mercury sacrifice, where he was the front face for AZT, the big pharma, where they were like, this guy is going to make us a lot of money with AZT now. Sepsis, radioactive antibiotics that will kill you within a 30-day protocol. Sepsis war. These are sepsis wars, okay? Because the antibiotic is far more lethal than the vaccine, because it's a chemotherapy. It's radioactive. It'll shut you down within 30 days. That's why in HIV/AIDS, they got the black spots and they died very quickly. So they had to get rid of the AZT and find something a little bit milder once they were done with their minor blood sacrifice of HIV and AIDS. There is no virus. There is no virus human to human. There is only a 24, 48-hour virus that will take the body into an inflammatory state, and the body's own immune system will battle and fight off the virus. So there is no technology to make a virus. It's too expensive, will consume too many resources. To make a little nanopod to jump person to person, what you use is psychology, fight or flight, scare the shit out of the patient. They will jump on the medication and then they'll get ill. So you go into the hospital laughing, happy, thinking that you got, you're going for a corona test, and then you're under breathing machine, suddenly in 48 hours you're dead. Because it's psychological, fight or flight, okay? The body goes into inflammatory state with fungus, bacteria. There is no sexual diseases because people carry fungus. And you will get fungusoid-based diseases, and that will be unpleasant, which you need a detox. This is a topic I can talk for 72 hours, but we're not going to do that, okay? Let's stick to this cunt. Okay?
Again, I think that the biggest question
Now, human servant degrees, that was 33 degrees that we were dealing with. Hancock, minor, these are non-disclosed. This is now the big boy. This is the big boy, but not big enough to meet the walk-ins, because only 36 degree Freemason has the privilege to go to Bohemian Grove and meet the walk-in at a ceremony. Some of them don't like it, but it's a privilege. And this guy takes still command, and he doesn't go to these ceremonies. At Bohemian Grove, which is not an owl, I'll show you images, it's actually an archonic body without a head. There is no owl there. Owls are nice birds. That is archonic. Now let's listen to this. This is 35 degrees, Mason.
Maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people. The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games as a solution for more. It's already happening.
Solution.
Under different titles, different headings, you see more and more people spending more and more time or solving their inner problems with drugs and computer games, both legal drugs and illegal drugs. You look at Japan today, and Japan is maybe 20 years ahead.
And yes, that was Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab's advisor at the World Economic Forum, a author of Sapiens, and a philosopher and a political science expert, advising directly the top human servants who are ruling the sleepers, i.e.
I have
you.
a certain style. I apologize.
Hello again. It is me again, Miss Sepsis, aka non-human.
I was definitely pushing someone's buttons, because when I uploaded this video on my YouTube channel with my fancy 700 subscribers, YouTube found it offensive. It took it fucking down. I timed it 5. Fuck it, let's just say 5 minutes, okay? Well, and that was it. So I was like, I better not screw with them. I better upload it to my Minds channel, where I have similar videos, a lot of these that YouTube won't allow me. And they found this offensive, so it means that I'm talking about sepsis war. And this guy is part of it with Fauci. Fauci as well is 35 degrees, but they will be invited to these walk-in ceremonies, similarly to the Bohemian Grove. But the thing is that these ceremonies are not taking place anymore, because they're super soldiers, real super soldiers, not the Guy MTV super soldiers with fillers, okay? We're talking about real frickin' super soldiers who have nothing to lose. They will come and get you. That's why Putin has 10 plus clones. Well, doubles, not clones. Clones are too complex. They can't do public presentations and relearn speeches, so they use actors, doubles. And that's why he's protecting himself, because the Kabbalah is using these evil super soldiers to get rid of him. And the same thing as well. Now, with the walk-ins, they need to hide the ceremonies. They need to switch everything around. It's the war of wars. So these ceremonies are happening only with the walk-in presence, the Black Pope, and the sacrificed human being, where the consciousness of that 800-year-old walk-in will walk into the new human being who will be fresh looking and can carry on the duty for another biochemistry 500, 800 years. Okay? Because I told you they can't shapeshift and they're depending. These are very old walk-ins. I'll show you images in a while. What I think they, you know, the consciousness, what they look like.
Humans being exposed, non-humans being exposed globally. And who are the non-humans? Well, they are everywhere. They are the neighbor, they are the school teacher, they are the veterinarian, they are the slaughterhouse worker, they are the Slim World NHS trooper, eager to jab your child, and AKA human servants such as this guy, who are not mindless because the non-humans are mindless.
That video that was taken down was 555.
They are the so-called part
Just
of
gets
the
weirder and weirder here.
Well, amongst the real humans, the sleepers. But he is a human servant serving the walk-ins. And AK...
Now, 1 second. Now, Prince Philip, let's continue quickly with these levels, degrees of Freemason. Another pathetic 35-degree Mason. He had no privilege to even, maybe he was forced to meet the walk-ins, of course. 35 degrees do attend the ceremonies. A 34-degree one will not attend the walk-in ceremony. So a 35-degree one would. And when did Prince Philip die? He died at the 9th of April, 2021. So that adds up, sorry? 18, so that adds up to 9 graduation. He died at the age of 99 at 9 a.m. in the morning. So they were like, okay, Philip, you've been a good boy. Let's let you graduate, bitch. Let's let you graduate. Get to number 9. So it was a national ceremony, 9th of April, and that is 9 leading to 5 change to escape karma at the age of 99. And now everyone's asking, I must say this, what is the next event? Monkeypox? What's going to happen next? Well, you know, hopefully nothing, because I have a little bit as well been working my ass off near the swamp. And I know it sounds crazy, but I was doing aggressively these 5-day meditations, and the lockdown ended, you know? So, you know, it is a collective reality. I think that so many people were already doing so much. Any form of meditation works. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's the intent. But some techniques, and me living near the swamp, that's this acupuncture point, maybe, you know. So the next event will be planning to kill, you know, they got to get the queen out of the country. They can't make a hot mess here while she's pretending to live in UK, where she's actually living in a mountain as the only public walk-in. The only public walk-in, and I'll get to it in a minute. They got to get rid of the queen, then they can cause chaos and lock everyone in on this island. So she's actually never in UK. She's not in that palace thingy. She's in Scotland, where these acupuncture points are, in a meditative state, because her public appearances ended around the age 50, where she was deteriorating. Some would say shape-shifting, but you know, a walk-in, it's not easy being under such pressure, you know? And she needs to be in a meditative state to bring in the archonic consciousness. She has a specific job to do. She's not just chilling. The lady in public domain is an actress. Okay, so the real queen is the only public walk-in. We don't know who the other walk-ins are in Japan, China, etc. I'll show you now. So, like I said, He was a pathetic 35-degree Mason, lucky enough. And the real 36-degree Masons are Henry Kissinger. It would be Klaus Schwab. It would be hard to say, you know. Some political presidents were. Senior George W. Bush might have been a 36-degree one with full disclosure and had the full-time command coming in, but not really. They wouldn't do that. They put the people that come out of nowhere suddenly. Klaus Schwab and all these people come out of nowhere, and Henry Kissinger was the man who hired Klaus Schwab, and Harari is their advisor. So clairvoyants mistake when they see them in public sometimes, these 35, 34-degree people, and they're shapeshifters. I saw the eye shapeshift. It's not possible in biochemistry. What the clairvoyant is picking up on is the ritualistic abuse that's been going on and over and over with them, because they're constantly engaging in rituals, so it's shining through the soul. The soul is shining through, and it will show in the eyes. So when you're extra sensitive, you're like, there's something not right with it. It's not a shape-shifting reptilian, it's the rituals that they're seeing, that these Masons are enslaved in. They're all slaves. So here, in his honor, you can see there's different colors, very important. He's wearing green means that he's not 36 degrees, because green color in Masonic movement is one of the lower levels, and the main essential color for Masons is the Ukrainian flag, red and yellow. They're taking over, okay? I think they're making it pretty clear now globally. We're all living in Ukraine. It's the Masonic color, the blue and yellow. Okay, so that's the 33 degree, the blue and yellow. And on each medallion, you can see the pentagram, the number 5. So they did that death sort of to give him a little bit slack. And he was remembered at that Masonic lodge that I showed you with the globe. So the next events are, the passing one was 6th of June, 2022, which adds up to 666. The next one next year will be 777 at July. And the following one will be 777 is Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, the spiritual war. It's a very critical point. That is when they're really solidifying their agenda, because it's spiritual now coming together with the physical, which is 2024, when Trump is going to actually come back. Funny. Trump wasn't a bad guy. He was a human servant initially, but he broke free, and he's a narcissist with money. And they did try to kill him at least 100 times. Him and his wife and his children. He had a lot to lose. The guy, he loved his family, but he was a patriot at the same time. And they were making him look like a fool. So then it will become 888, which it will become physical now, and then we're screwed, 25. And this calculation that I made matches Valery Uvarov, who's a scientific guy, pure science. If he was listening to the intro of this lecture, he would laugh his ass off. But I was just trying to tell you how I got to this information. This information, I didn't read this from anywhere. I just kind of was like, I used to read numerology books to see if I match with this guy and does he like me? And then I started making my own sense about the political world, how they're using it. Okay? So 25, Valery Uvarov said, that is, if we haven't blown each other up, it means that humanity will continue. So 2030, the agenda is deception. Then it's completely kaput. Look around you, there's, you know, a lot of sepsis, a lot of older people. The mortality rate has dropped. Women are not getting pregnant due to the pollution in the food, pharmaceuticals that they take, and et cetera, et cetera. So we are going to have a big problem with new people being born in. And what are these people going to be? They're going to be computer game, Coca-Cola, Ryanair, McDonald's. and phone in their hand. So that is not the reality that we want either. That's transhumanism, which is separate from non-humans, because we are three-quarters synthetic nervous system by now, correlating with the chemtrails, and you and me are kind of transhumanism already. I'm sorry to say, you got to do detox. You got to flush your liver, kidney, do the lung detox to get the nanoparticles out of your body, because you are under a maze of mind control. Okay, let's continue. Jesus, this is just getting warmed up, guys. I'm so sorry. There's just, you know, this is, okay. Now, 36 degrees, very good. I jumped ahead. There you see, these are, Kissinger is, so the only public walk-in in a meditative state somewhere in Scotland, probably horizontal position in a bed. Let's go a little bit back to see what was said there to make sure. Yeah, okay, got that. So they're in a meditative state. You will see a walk-in normally, you would see them in a meditative state. And mudra positions, because it's a constant message that they need to channel in. They're taking orders. They are the slaves to Archon consciousness. So this is what a walk-in would look like. They're very, very old. The movies of Dracula are all true. They're all true. The bed where Dracula lays down to sleep and rest and meditate, that's all true. Okay? So these are very old, and they are in a constant meditative state. This is a walk-in then, and there's probably a handful of them. So this would be very similar to, I don't know who's seen, in some movies, they've shown these characters. Anyways, they'll come to me. So they live in isolated acupuncture points. They don't care about what's around them, castle, no castle. They'll live in an acupuncture point, but they'll just make sure that no one sees them, and they can continue channeling the archonic consciousness. So now this is the Bohemian Grove that Alex Jones invaded. You see that there is no head. Everyone's saying it's owl. It's not an owl. It is the archonic emerged into one AI consciousness that they're worshiping. It's artificial intelligence, and they exist only in this solar system. And they're becoming a problem now in other solar systems. I'm going to get into Andromeda Galaxy now in a bit. So they worship them. And only 35 to 36 degrees are invited to these special parties. There's always a sacrifice, so it'll normally be a child or a human being. Yeah, this is Bohemian Grove. Mixing the soul for walk-ins, 33 degrees humans. Yeah, that I already covered. 33-degree Archon consciousness, and the 33-degree very resilient, strong, like... it's just the soul signatures, remember? They're not using physical because I told you they can't mix. It doesn't match. It doesn't match. Even though Archons are from planet Earth, they're actually human beings. So who are the Archons? Let me say, Archons are human beings for planet Earth, Atlantis. It's the same elite people elevated with the artificial intelligence research to such a degree that they ascended. They had already Neuralink and everything, and they ascended and they got trapped in the atmosphere, outer atmosphere of this Earth. That's why they exist. They're only this solar system problem, and they're trying to cause trouble in other solar systems, but they're the sun. Sun is a protective machine, protecting, burning it out. That's why we got the chemtrails. Now I'm jumping ahead. Hold on. So first walk-in was Ereshkigal Alatum. It was a female. She was the goddess of the underworld of death. And Enki from the book of Enoch saw this. It's all recorded text, and he told his friend, and the Archons were contacting Enki, and they were trying to make him into a walk-in, because Enki means the magician, the wisdom keeper. So this is Ereshkigal Lalatum, 15,000 years ago, Mesopotamia. These rituals where she was brought about were recorded. So he means the wisdom in Sumerian, like I just said, healing, creation. And they approached Enki. They're like, buddy, you're going to teach us now how to conduct this pentagram, 5 elements, fire, earth, air, water, ether ceremony. You're going to teach us, buddy. But he was entrapped. That was the real conversation. Enki was not approached by benevolent beings. He wasn't approached by ETs at all, because archons are not ETs. They're AI consciousness that are human beings from planet 1. Now, everyone thinks, why everyone thinks they are Satanists? Because Satan was actually catching them. Satan, same deity, similar deity as to Karpusami, the blue deity in Hinduism, who's on a white horse with a sword. His name is Kalki. Kalki Karpusami, and his mantra is Om Gam Kalki Karpusami Namaha. He's the savior of the village from poverty, illness, and sickness, and abuse. So Satan is older than Karpusami and Kalki, the blue god. Satan started catching these walk-ins and sending them straight to hell. So what the elite started doing was they started blaming Satan through religious systems. In Christianity and Islam, they started saying to people that Satan is the bad guy. But Satan was the good guy, helping. And Satan couldn't care less what you and me are doing. He has his own light that he's infamous for. And he doesn't care. He's untouchable. He's the guy who will come. He will stop time. He will reverse events. That's why people who are working with Satan, I've had encounters with Satan, that he comes in the room and he will stop. If you're surrounded by immigration officers all stripping you down, saying, buddy, you're going to jail now for the rest of your life, you can call him in, he'll stop time, and whatever happens there, your holding evidence will disappear from your hands, and they'll be like, where's the evidence? This is exactly what has happened. I speak from experience. He stops time, he comes in, he will perform miracles. You will owe him a bill, but what you need to do is set up an appointment with him, a specific appointment. He might not attend, he maybe will attend, and you do a contract provocation, and you take responsibility, because we're existing in a free will world where you cannot look at a classroom at your neighbor's answers. You need to do the exam yourself. And that's why everyone hates the teacher, and he's the teacher, the babysitter of the fools. And he's catching them, and they're getting really sick of him. So the neo-Satanists, they are funding them, and they're mixing it all up. So I'll show you how they're mixing it all up. There's the Eyes Wide Shut group. So in this ceremony, in the Eyes Wide Shut film, which is all real, the director was killed before it was published. Tom Cruise had no comments on it, Nicole Kidman same. And this is real. They do not ever call Satan in these ceremonies. They look like Satanists due to the clothing, the robes. So for the bystander, it looks like a satanic ritual. And that's why Alex Jones and all these people are talking shit, because it's not Satanism. Satan, Lucifer is the same guy. It's the same guy. And he came here as a consciousness sent around 2.5 million years ago during the last ice age. So they will never call up on Satan in these ceremonies. They will do low-level alpha, sleep sounds, because there's alpha, delta, theta, gamma, orgasmic waves, binaural beats. So they need to bring the archonic frequency down in these ceremonies where they're sacrificing, and it will be an alpha wave. Doo. Very, very negative, very, very, very horrible feeling. It's calling the archonic. Well, these are small boys. These are not the Bohemian Grove. These are just self-initiators. These are just people, you know, just worshiping. But they're not invited to the walk-in ceremony. That's not a walk-in ceremony. That's just the little party between the probably 33, 34 degrees. Okay, let's crack on. So this is the resurrection at the Vatican. You can see it's archonic. It's being surrounded by these shadow beings that were brought in from these acupuncture points in China that are like CERN. But these acupuncture points are everywhere. They're now in West Africa at the coast. The AI is very developed in West Africa and Ghana and Nigeria. A lot of Estonian corporations work there. There are big white eggs in the sea level that bring in this AI wave and feed the entire Europe. Okay, this is real stuff. And these are the shadow beings that walked into the human beings, kicked the original soul out, and these souls became the non-humans, the mindless, completely mindless. So these portals kept crashing, and these. There's good news with this. Normally, these souls, they can't last long because you need to be 49% negative and 51% at least good. And normally they get physical illnesses, they get cancer or accidents and karma. And that's why that 30% before lockdown, the non-humans has decreased now significantly. And this Estonian businessman told me, you don't want to know what kind of people they're taking there. These are people who scratch and bite each other. It's another level. It has nothing to do with the big pharma experiments, because these people have been, they really came about since World War II. You know, World War II already, things were really bad. Things were really bad. Things are getting better. And this man is a serious man. He doesn't really believe half of this crap, you know. But he told me that I go to business, conduct business in China. I saw these camps with these people. So this resistance group is trying to help out. There is a battle. There is the war of wars. War of wars is going on. Number 5, change. Okay, so we got that. And what it was, well, as a soul, as a current soul living on planet Earth, you had to make a choice quite a while ago. And a lot of you have. You're here. And this choice really, according to my calculations, was 2003. But one of these events where they had to bring the global energy super, super low was 9/11. Just before the 2003, the energy shift of planet Earth, because they were like, the Kabbalah was like, okay, 2003, there's going to be increase of energy. Too many people are going to awaken. Let's bring it down with 9/11, shall we? Let's cause a little drama. So they always do their drama about like few days before or a year before, because they've calculated, they know when it's happening, and then they're like, and then everyone goes really down, but you got to rise above it, and you got to know these dates, and then make a choice. Okay. So 9/11 was definitely a big change happened globally with the AI and the illegal surveillance going on. Airports were overtaken by sleepers and non-humans, radiating the hell out of you and your family members and enjoying it. And all the events now that I'm going to quickly read out to you, starting, I don't know why I put, okay. World War II started 9th of September 39 during the Olympics, where Germany attacked Poland, and that adds up to a Kabbalah number 32, and that's equivalent to number 5. World War I started 28th of July 1914, which adds up again to 32. And this information excludes astrological dates. There's the zodiac astrological nuance as well, not only numerology, but it adds up to number 5. United States independence date was on the 4th of July, 1776, and that adds up to 32, which is number 5. And that was a positive event. And the United States Constitution was on the 4th of March, 1789, which adds up to the 32, which is number 5. You can see the full lecture on my channel. And negative counterfeit, so there was a battle going on. The resistance group and positive and negative try to overlap each other, not to bring the energy too down. And so the next event is the formation of the Masonic Lodge, which is 24th of May, 1776, adds up to 32, which is 5. They needed exactly 400 brethrens and 160 females, and the ceremony started at that date, and it reached the number 5. And they are just obsessed to make sure that everything is synchronized. And one of their favorite months is March, because March represents the Aries, the bull, and it's like the seed that you put in the springtime that will soar through the soil and get the job done, the manifestation. So March is definitely one of their favorite times to start drama. Now, there is the 509th composite group, which was the tragic Hiroshima in Japan, and it was called the 509 composite group. And Little Boy and Fat Man atomic bombs were ignited, and that adds up again on the 4th of August 1945, and it adds up to number 5. There's so many more dates. There's the Titanic as well. And key people, Martin Luther King and Russell Gerald, all these activists, key activists as well, are blood sacrificed during these dates. And then there's the ship Estonia, which was the biggest tragedy in Estonia. I have multiple people who I knew that were on that ship. And funny enough, I was meant to be on that ship. So that is a little bit, a very paranormal story. Me and my mom, we heard 3 nights in a row before the ship Estonia sank, 3 heavy knocks on the door, because death was knocking on our door and reminded us, you guys were meant to be in Stockholm and on that ship, but you escaped. So that was 27th of September 1994, and that adds up to number 5. 800 people died drowning. They said that they were carrying extraterrestrial vehicles in their our Roswell from Baldiski, but I doubt it. They wouldn't use a commercial ship. And then, of course, WHO Agenda 2021 adds up to number 5. And then 5G, okay? There is no 6G coming. It is 5G for now. And that is not even switched on, and we're already all going crazy by it. And then there is Agenda 2030, which adds up to number 5. And so there's a lot more events like that that I calculated. So they used pagan science. Paganism has been around since Saudi. So they used pagan science. They asked this 33-degree part of human in the walk-in, teach us how to do these ceremonies. Teach us the magic. Come on, teach us the magic. We want to know how this shit works here. And the human was, okay, you do it like this, because the human being has the creativity. It has the creative soul being, and it was telling the archons everything, how to conduct all these things. And you use the 5 elements, you use the ether, which is the spirit, and you use ether as well, which is in alchemy, the matter that is between the matters. So ether means two things. It means spirit, and it means in biochemistry and alchemy, it means the matter between the matter, the energy. So they use the 5 elements for that, and the human beings spilled the beans and taught them this since Mesopotamia time. But first time they really got in was during the 4th Ice Age, when the first human beings came to Earth from Corona Borealis Alphecca, which I'll get to. I'm telling you a lot.